What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy 2Wise here with another edition of Top 10 Young Guns and Trends, this time for June 2021. First off, I'd like to apologize for the long delay between videos. What can you do? Life happens. This video is coming out in the middle of July, but I promise you all of the data was collected right at the end of June, so it's accurate data for the month of June 2021. There's a couple new names on the top 10 list this month, with a couple names from the last edition falling off. Specifically, Nick Robertson and Bowen Byram are no longer in the top 10. But if we get started right now, you can see at number 10, we have Kevin Lankinen, who actually got, I think, 3 or so 4th and 5th place votes for the Calder Trophy voting this year. And as we look at his chart, you can see it was relatively consistent for the month of June, with the average sale over the period being $7.15. So the most recent average sale, $7.96. So compare that to the start of the period and the end of May. Nice little bump for Kevin Lankinen there. At number 9, we have Ilya Sorokin, whose card, as you can see, went down pretty significantly in value, about $10. At the end of May, it was selling for $21.86, with the most recent average sale being $11.11. We were hoping to see a little flash of Sorokin in the playoffs and maybe his value would go up there, but Varlamov really stole the show for the Islanders, which was, I guess, expected. Coming in at number 8 is Niklas Hagelin for the Vancouver Canucks, and ironically, he actually came in 8th for the Calder Trophy as well. No first place votes, of course, but still got a little bit of a look for 3rd, 4th, 5th place votes. His price went down a little bit as well, $14.74 at the start of the period, and then $11.49 for his most recent sale. You're going to see that trend item throughout this top 10 video. As the season kind of winded down, a lot of these guys missed the playoffs. The Calder voting came out. Kirill took the cake as expected. So now as we move into the offseason, you'll see these prices go way down, and that's when we can start making some value picks. Coming in at number 7 for the second month in a row is Montreal's Alexander Romanov. Of course, the Canadiens had an awesome playoff run. Cole Caulfield is the young guns that we're going to be eyeing next year. But Romanov didn't quite play as much in the playoffs. I think he only played 4 games, got 1 point. So we can see the slight downtrend in price on his chart here. And looking at the actual numbers, down from $13.09 at the start of the period, being end of May. And then now most recent average sale at the end of June was $9.12, which is really unfortunate because back in May, he had an average sale price of about $21.26. So that's down significantly from the beginning of May. At number 6, we have Ottawa's Josh Norris, a newcomer to my top 10 video. And his card has actually shown a slight uptick in price, which is breaking the trend that we've seen from the first 4 guys. So looking at his numbers, he actually had a sale of $11.56 at the start. And then by the end of June, his price had gone up to $16.62. I'm going to attribute this to him coming in 4th in the Calder voting. He had a pretty decent amount of 3rd and 4th place votes and a lot of 5th place votes as well, and actually got more votes than Tim Stutzla, his teammate, did. So definitely someone to keep an eye on in the offseason as far as investment. At number 5, we have Jason Robertson of the Dallas Stars. If you remember from my May video, he was red hot on a hot streak. People were talking about him competing with Kirill for the Calder Trophy. That did not end up being the case. Kirill got 99 first place votes. Jason Robertson only got 1 first place vote. His card was selling close to $40 at the beginning of May, and now we can see at the end of May it was about $25.80 at the start of the period, and has gone slightly down to about $19.50 by the end of June. This price decrease isn't all that surprising after the Calder voting came out. Jason Robertson was a surprising standout for the Dallas Stars and will absolutely be a good player in the future, so it's still a good card to invest in, but maybe we see how much more it drops in the offseason once the hype has kind of dwindled away. At number 4, we have Dillon Cousins, another player whose card continues to increase in value. As you can see here, his chart is trending up. It doesn't quite match with the numbers that market movers gave me for his actual sales, and I looked into that, and I couldn't figure out why these numbers say what they do, so I'm going to focus here on the average sale over the period being $15.93, but the most recent average sale actually being $18.97. So his card, even though it was selling like maybe in the mid-20s in May, it still is kind of trending up for June, which is good news for Dillon Cousins and Buffalo fans, people who want to invest in this card or who have pulled this card from boxes or packs. And at number 3 for the second month in a row is Ottawa's Tim Stutzla. People are still high on this guy as far as investment goes. They are expecting to have him break out. Maybe he'll have a sophomore, maybe he'll have a third-year breakout whenever it comes. People are expecting him to be a great player still. In the May video, I talked about seeing how much his price will decrease as the playoffs started and Ottawa misses the playoffs and then we get into the offseason. And so far, I seem to be right. He was up in the 70s in May, and now we're looking at a most recent average sale of $42, so it's still steadily declining as the hype burns away and as the market for the hobby itself starts getting a little bearish. At number 2, once again, is Alexis Lafreniere. Also, another little downtrend in the value of his card. It was selling for about $120 in May, and now we're looking at $115 for his Young Guns, with the average sale over the month of June actually being about $101. So something to keep an eye on. I think his card is overvalued right now, but that's just my personal opinion. I would like to see it go down more before I invested in him, although the Rangers do have a very young team and a pretty bright future. And at number 1, to no one's surprise, we have Krill the Thrill, the Calder Trophy winner, the Rookie of the Year, 99 out of 100 first place votes. But despite running away with the Calder Trophy, his card is also down in value. I believe investors may be a little worried about him running off to the KHL, and also it's just matching the offseason and market trends. Looking at the average sale at the start of the period being $125.52, but now about $93.82. I personally am holding. I'm not going to be buying any Krill cards. I want to see what happens with the KHL and his future in Minnesota and the NHL. And to finish out the video, I have 24 players here, popular players that I've seen in the comments that people are investing in, people want to know about. So I have here information for the last 30 days. You can see how much their card has gone up or down percentage-wise from the last video. And I have a list of their last average sales as well. Value plays that I see on this list here could be Kevin Lankinen, Ty Smith, K'Andre Miller, Vitek Vanacek, Bowen Byram, all pretty cheap cards, all under $10, and couldn't hurt to make the investment to see what kind of breakouts they have in sophomore or third years. I'll keep these players' data on the list as I continue these videos throughout the offseason, and maybe we'll keep the big ones in as I add in the players for next season's Young Guns. But please, if you like the video, like and subscribe. Let me know in the comments what other players you'd like to see data on. Market Movers is an incredible tool. I can get data for almost anybody, so just let me know, and thanks for watching.